Could you remember the friendship? Could you describe the friendship? How was it?
Well, we used to have a lot of fun, hanging out at the mass camp, and that was it.
Back in the day, so you all entered tent together. Were you all a duet in the tent?
No, we were never in the tent together. I made my debut in the Calypso review in 1972. Yeah, 1972 is when I went.
1971 in Kitchener's tent.
Yes.
Yeah, am I correct?
You're correct. You're so correct. Go on, you lead.
All right. So, back in the day, did you all have anyone in particular that you looked up to? Like when you say, okay, let's sing Calypso, who was your inspiration in the 60s?
Prowler Prowler was a Blakey fan.
Blakey.
Yeah, he loved Blakey. He used to sing all the Blakey songs and playing the guitar, And that was it.
Did you all meet Blakey back in the day?
Yeah, we hung with Blakey, and Prowler made his debut. I wrote a song called "Mad People on the Train," and he sang that down at Sparrow's tent. That where Carl Jacob places now. The SWWTU Hall, right, on Rice Road, and I used to go and hear him. I used to, those days I was more in the background, Prowler was in front really, and
So he started singing first. This is before the duet.
Yeah. He started.
And then you used to write songs for him.
Yeah.
What kind of reception he got in the tent back in those days?
Oh, it was good, especially the Mad People on the Train. He was, according to this, mashing up the tent with that one. I don't think he made a semi-final. I can't remember if he made a semi-final, but he was well received in the tent with Mad People on a Train, and that was at the Sparrows Young Brigade tent. SWWTU.
How would you describe him as a Calypsonian looking on? What type of performer would you describe him as?
Well, energetic, he was. Everybody liked his smile, and he remember he had dimples, right? And they liked him, bro. The women used to go behind him.
What about his spiritual side? Did he ever discuss theology and that sort of thing when he wanted to transform into heading into the church? Because of course he had the challenge where in the tent he wanted to introduce a more spiritual side to the Calypso. What about that side? Did he ever discuss that with you, or did you observe how it was received in the tent and the atmosphere back in that day?
We only discussed it, superficially. It wasn't anything that we sat down and planned to, I know he was into the Bible, and he would discuss the Bible with me, and so on.
Back in those days, do you think that spirituality was not really received well in the Calypso environment?
Yeah, true. Yeah, that was true. You had a few people used to, went that way, spiritually. All
right, with the BIOGRAPHICAL competition, do you remember much about it? I understand it was more of a government thing. I think it was a PNM competition.
PNM by local competition. And,
Do you think it helped propel both of your careers, like winning that competition? Do you think it helped?
yes, we used to use. I would use that on my resume. Like I was the junior Calypso king in 1965. Right. In 1970, I was the bi-local king. That's after we went separate ways. You know, we had a falling out, and we thing. Junior Calypso king 1965. Bi-local king 1970, and the national Calypso king 1980, and that was it.
Okay, so you mentioned the fallout. So I want to know if, we can expand a bit about, exactly what took place.
I remember, I think he, how it was, boy, I don't remember how that story went, but I believe that, I prefer to pass that on.
All right, no problem. It's interesting because, to start so strong and do so well, and then this fallout came and happened, and it took years. You all didn't really patch things up, really, so it had to be something really, really strong. But, of course, I respect if you want to keep it, as is where it is. So let's talk a little bit about you. You're a big cricket fan.
Yeah.
You love cricket. You're still into the cricket?
Well, I used to play, not professionally. I played wind ball cricket, and I used to, I wrote the song of Gavaskar, you remember? Mm-hmm. Indian cricketers.
A lovely day for cricket.
Yes.
That was brilliant. So I think now you could probably walk me through exactly what it takes, or how do you begin to start to craft a calypso, because you're a great writer, great storyteller, the way you do it, and of course you do it with humor, and it is said that humorous calypso is the most difficult to pen. Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah, it takes a special kind of skill to to do humor, but I always lean that way, listening to Spoiler and Christo. Prowler had a good friend named Spider. I don't know if you remember. No, you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that. He was a humorous Calypsonian, he always had something funny to bring out in his calypso, and I remember Spider used to. I don't remember his full name,
I could probably research that.
Yeah?
I could probably research Spider. He was a Calypsonian as well.
Yes. He sang a calypso called The Eating Competition.
Eating Competition.
Yes. And Prowler used to sing it, and I used to sing it,
Okay, and let's talk. You said you made it in 1980 after singing, so you would say your debut was in 1965. But the first
calypso, the professional debut was in 1971. Lord Kitchener's tent. I sang in Kitchener's. Prowler sang in the Young Brigade. And that was how it went. We went, we apart from the duet, we had our individual careers,
Yes. Because you said, you hinted before that he started like that. He didn't start with the duet. He started as an individual first. And then somewhere along the line, you all came together. The atmosphere for tent back then, the tent was very crowded. People were more interested in the Calypso.
Calypso tents were full. And you had people like Cypher. At the original Drum Brigade, Cypher used to sing with Prowler, and the original Drum Brigade was Christo, Blakey, Prowler, who else? I don't remember the cast.
Was that Kitchen and Stand?
That of late, it became recent vintage. It became Kitchen Attendant after.